Today we dive into Psalm 35, a powerful prayer of protection, deliverance, and divine justice. This psalm is a spiritual weapon for those facing enemies, oppression, or spiritual attacks, and it brings freedom, restoration, and the breaking of curses. The psalm begins with a cry to the Lord, "Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me." Right away, we see the posture of faith, calling on God as our defender. This is not a passive prayer. It is a declaration that God is our protector, our shield, and our warrior. When you face opposition, when forces of darkness seem to surround you, you can lift your voice and ask the Lord to fight for you, to stand in your place, and to secure victory. David continues, "Take hold of shield and buckler, and rise up to help me." Here we imagine the armor of God, the divine protection surrounding us. The shield blocks attacks, the buckler deflects harm. God Himself equips us with spiritual defense, not just to survive, but to triumph over every scheme of the enemy. When you recite these words, envision yourself fully covered by His mighty hand, untouchable by curses, lies, or attacks. The psalmist then says, "Deliver me from the wicked, and save me from the bloodthirsty." Notice that this is a prayer for active deliverance. It's not about wishing harm on others, it is about liberation from those who aim to harm, deceive, or curse. It is about breaking every chain, every plot, every negative force that threatens your peace. God responds to such cries because He is just and powerful, and His ears are always open to those who seek refuge in Him. The psalm goes on, "Let them be ashamed and brought to dishonor who seek my life. Let them be turned back and confounded who devise evil against me." These words carry authority. When spoken with faith, they call divine intervention over injustice. Those who intend harm cannot succeed against the one protected by God. Reciting this with intent is like declaring a spiritual courtroom where God is the judge and your enemies cannot prevail. Then the psalmist lifts the voice in praise. "But I, when they were sick, I clothed myself with sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned to my own bosom." Even amidst trials and attacks, God reminds us to remain humble, patient, and faithful. True power does not come from retaliation, but from trusting that God's justice will prevail. Every prayer offered in faith is a seed of victory that will bring restoration and peace. Later, David declares, "I will give thanks to the Lord according to His righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High." This is a promise of hope. When we call upon God for deliverance, we are not left in despair. We are lifted into gratitude, assurance, and victory. Even before the battle ends, faith allows us to anticipate the blessing, to sing praise in advance, knowing that God's protection and justice are sure. Finally, the psalm concludes with a vision of ultimate victory. "And my soul shall be joyful in the Lord, it shall rejoice in His salvation." This is the reward for persistence in prayer and trust. Liberation from curses, protection against enemies, and restoration of peace bring a soul overflowing with joy. God's salvation is not temporary, it is enduring. It surrounds your life, your home, and your family with peace, blessing, and divine authority. So when you pray Psalm 35, do not simply read it. Enter into it. Declare it. Feel it. Believe it. Imagine every attack, every negative word, every curse dissolving in the light of God's power. Speak these words aloud in faith. Let them resonate through your heart, through your home, and through your surroundings. Know that you are covered, protected, and victorious in the name of the Lord. Psalm 35 is more than a prayer, it is a spiritual declaration. It breaks the chains of oppression, shatters curses, and brings God's justice into every situation. Let it be a shield over your life, a song of freedom, and a proclamation of victory today, tomorrow, and always.